How to manage your customers better, and I mean customer communication. Put your hand up if you've had a miscommunication with a customer. I know I'm on video. Put your hands up if you've had a miscommunication with a customer that's cost you money. Anybody out there without their hand up? Just a few liars, perhaps? My hand's up. Hands all the time. Tradies are notorious for it, aren't you? I had a very minor incident of this on Tuesday. I took my car for a service. Took it in for the service, he did the service, and said I had to wait for the part to come so he could fix the rattle or the clanking thing in my steering column. And he said something about spark plugs and a fuel filter. And I took it back a few days later, thinking the part had arrived for the rattle in my steering column. Left, came back, and he said he'd fixed the spark plugs now and the fuel filter. He gave me a bill for $700 or something, and I still had to wait for the part to come in for the rattle. So I left thinking, hang on, I've got a $700 bill, wasn't really expecting, still fucking rattles, and I thought you'd already done the spark plugs. No, I'm quite calm and nice, right? I didn't kick up a fuss, figured I hadn't heard properly. But not everybody is as calm and nice and ready to accept that explanation from somebody, right? I thought I heard one thing, he thought he'd said something else. Miscommunication, doesn't matter, but customers are not always that obliging, are they? Tradie customers are not always that obliging. Sometimes when a misunderstanding of this kind occurs and they're up for more cost than they thought they were going to be up for, they get the shit, don't they? And then they expect you to deal with it for them, you to pay for it for them perhaps. And sometimes you end up paying for it for them or paying for some of it for them when it wasn't your fault, when it's not a cost you should really be bearing. It wasn't included in your quote in the first place and you thought you'd covered it off, but it turns out you miscommunicated. Who's been there? So what should you do? Now the answer is obvious, it's one you all know really, and it goes like this. Step 1, make sure you're clear. Step 2, make sure they understand it as you intended them to. Step 3, confirm it in writing. And step 4, if there's money involved, make them acknowledge in writing that this is how we both see it. They can just reply yes, can't they, to your email. Now there's no argument, right? It's written and it's accepted. You've sent your message, you've made sure they understand it right, you've written it down so they can't deny it later, and they've said yes, so they definitely can't deny it later. Written and accepted. This works for quotes, doesn't it? It also works for variations. And the job management system probably has a function for this, exactly for this reason. It works for changes to a schedule, it works for agreements about payment, it works for selections, okay? Write it down. Get them to accept it in writing, right? Please. I was taught early in my career, before I became a business coach, to follow up any verbal communication, like phone or meetings, with an email saying, this is what we've agreed, this is what I'm going to do, this is what you need to do. It's the same thing, right? It's what corporates do. It's considered generally a good idea. It's the same thing. If you're thinking, and you might well be, this sounds like a ball ache, I don't have time, you're part of the problem, or maybe the whole problem. You're causing yourself unnecessary problems and probably costing yourself unnecessary money by not bothering to make sure you and your customer see something the same way. Don't do that. This is a business skill. Communication discipline, customer management are business skills you need to master if you're going to build your business properly without the frustrations that come when you do have a misunderstanding. A business built properly is much more pleasant to own. Book a Moneymaker call and we'll talk about how my business coaching program can help you build your business properly and help you build those skills. See ya.